Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Pabs, a racing VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be working on some comic pages. So, I'm still getting the hang of using the comic panels in CSP. They've been uncooperative beasts before, and I'm still figuring out how to get them together. So, hopefully this will be a little bit of a learning experience, and I'll have a little bit of a better chance to keep working with everything that I've been doing. So yeah, it's going to be pretty laid back. It's just going to be me just working on this stuff. That's what you can expect from this one. Alright, let's head on in. Okie doke. Let's see here. It actually feels like it's been a while since I've streamed. It actually has been kind of a while. I think like last stream was probably last Wednesday. Yeah, on a Saturday stream got deferred, so Wednesday was probably the last time I did it. I don't know. Do I still got it? We have yet to see. In the meantime, let's kind of start working on this. So, ooh. Okay, I'm kind of interested in like this, oh, hang on. I'm interested in like this, slight angle here that we got going. Okay. So I think the best panel to start working on is probably this one. And fun fact, I've learned a couple of tricks that you can use to, what do you call it, I've learned a couple of tricks that you can use for making hallways and such with, Clip Studio Paint's 3D modes. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. Today I feel like my brain is just not going to be very cooperative. It's going to be one of those days, you know? Okay. Hang on, let me adjust this model so that it kind of reflects what I want the character to look like. Just a little bit broader here, just a little bit broader here. Yeah. That's always really annoyed me about the models for, you know, the female body models in, what do you call, Clip Studio Paint, is that they have a very kind of... Actually, hang on. Weirdly enough, this salsa dance... I have a bunch of these, what do you call, these pose references that are built for, like, dancing, and you would be surprised how versatile a couple of these are. Okay, so we've got the... Okay, so we've got the space kind of going towards that direction. Okay. Turn her around like so. And then we just kind of like shift the neck position to match what's actually going on. How tall is this model? 159? We're looking more around 170, I think. There we go. Okay, then lower the camera a little bit again. Whoa. I like how you can tell like it has a lot of leverage by how fast it moves the model. Alright, hang on. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of vanishing point I can use. So it looks like I'll need to turn the camera just down a little bit, and I think then we're gonna have something similar to what we want. Let's put her back on frame. Is it just weird that the ruler get like weirdly simplified? Oh no, there it goes. I think we might have just been like in a very weird kind of angle with this. Alright. I think I can also control some of the stuff on the ruler points, so let's try and do that. So can I like move the vanishing point? Oh yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Okay. So then what do we want to do next, I think, is probably just move her up. Up, I say. Okay. Zoom in a little bit. Move this down. And hopefully that'll still... Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, now we're just starting to get the hang of it. We want to make her a little bit bigger, though. Whoa! So let's put her just a little bit closer to the camera. Okay. Gotta move this foot back. There we go. Yeah. Bending the body forward is a really good way of showing that somebody's really booking it. And then this other arm is probably actually gonna go forward a little bit. Then elbow in. I feel like I have you guys ever seen like in movies or whatever when they have like those like etiquette schools and like the headmistress is like making people walk with like books on their heads and she's like elbows in? I feel like that's what I sound like whenever I try to like pose models. Whoops. Okay. So then hand poses, we're gonna need a fist for this hand here. Yeah, gonna need to like straighten that out a little bit. Fun fact, I learned that if you want to have good running form, you actually need to hold your thumb on the side of your fist for some reason. You don't hold it like you would a proper punch. You have to hold your finger on the side of your fist, which just always seems really wacky to me. Like why? Why can't I just like hold it in a normal fist? One of the great mysteries of the world. Let's see, hand gesture, blah, 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 point a finger, close fingers, take tissue paper, hold a thick book, hold a dictionary, hold a thin book. I mean, I don't know, how do you define thick book and thin book? Because I feel like a gun pose would almost be like thin book. I probably don't even need a hand reference for the gun pose, but it would still be a good thing to have it in there. Speaking of the gun, where is... Aha. Okay, bring that closer to me. Okay, raise that up. Spin her around. Is that a bit too big? I feel like that gun might be a bit too big, but it's good to exaggerate with details sometimes. Okay, and then bring it outward a little bit. Let's just make sure, whoop. Let's just make sure that, okay, if this thing will cooperate for like 5 seconds, God, this is really, okay, hang on. I gotta like, there's a bunch of different trickeries that I have to do here to actually figure out if I want this pose or not. Whenever, you know, fun fact, the first time I did one of those hand cam streams, I took a look at the VOD, and I did figure out that like my hand was off camera for like half of the whole thing, which was bad, but funnier still is the fact that basically the same thing happens whenever I have like all these like sub menus open and I'm like zooming in on like one specific part, because like I have to remember that I'm actually displaying this on like, you know, the CSP window on the stream takes up about like 1/3 of the total. You know, I'm gonna be a little stingy and say like maybe, how much would that be? Like 3/4? Yeah, I would say like 3/4 of the screen is this Clip Studio Paint thing. So what that actually, wait, no, 3, okay, so it's more like 3 plus 2, 5/9, or no, 4/9 of the screen is the Clip Studio Paint thing, which is not a great ratio. But, you know, I think it works. You know, I feel like, I think this is what I want the stream to look like, but I need to remember that, like, the viewers can't see as much as I can, so I need to learn to work with with a little bit more focus on visibility. Okay, and then adjust the light source a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put another character way over here. I think there was actually a post that was called something like Out of Breath or something. Hang on. Girl, what you doing so far away? Why is she turned to the wall like that, like the Blair Witch Project? I don't know. It's a strange world we live in. All right. So then I think what we need to do is select both of these guys, and then actually hang on. Snap these guys. Then move them a little bit further up, so that way. And I'm gonna need to move this gun like way far back. So then we can zoom in a little bit. Return her to the starting position. Come on, baby, come on. Okay, can I like put her... What is happening? Hang on. What does the map even look like now? That's not too bad. And that could be worse, I think. Okay, maybe what we need is to bump up the camera, and then... Oh, wait, hang on. I think we got a winner. Okay, hang on. Okay, so just put her a little bit further back. Turn her around. Also, this one's gonna be like 180. Easy. She's gonna be a tall lady. Okay. And for the whole body, on the thin side too. Okay. Then turn her around. I know I could probably be using some more like weird camera angle tricks, but I do find that this is honestly what works. Actually, hang on. Why shouldn't I allow myself to use those tricks? Hang on. A little bit of just camera angle goofing. Just a touch of camera angle goofing. Just a little bit of camera angle goofing. We do a little bit of camera angle goofing on a Wednesday. It doesn't feel like a Wednesday. I feel like today went weirdly too smooth to be a Wednesday. I've never gotten the hang of Wednesdays. I always say that. I always tell that to people. I never got the hang of Wednesdays. But, well, you know, sometimes you do get a little bit of a break from time to time. So you have to treasure those moments. Granted, tomorrow, that just means tomorrow could be bad, but I don't like to think of it that way, you know? It's not healthy to to wait for the other shoe to drop when good things happen to you. Something about appreciating living in the moment or whatever. Okay, and then move this down. Actually, could I need to hang on. There we go. Then move that to the side a bit, and then down. There we go. Okay. So then I think what we need to do next is actually move around the ruler again, just to make sure that the vanishing point is agreeing with what we need. Wait, hang on. What kind of seismic activity did I just, unlock there? Where is everyone? Where did they go? Alright, hang on. Okay, so let me actually try something out. So if I drew a line right around here where this one would be. Okay, that would go... Okay. Okay, I think this can work. I just need to move the 3D model around a little bit. Construction helmet. Aye aye. Did I have my construction helmet handy? Yeah, hang on. I just gotta dig around for it here in my fourth wall filter. Also, hi Bunny. How are you? Let's see here. Perfect. It's actually pretty, you know, it's very fitting that I'm wearing the construction helmet right now. Because, you know, when it comes to... Hold up, my construction helmet seems to be having a little bit of a moment. There we go. It's actually funny that we're wearing the construction helmet now because, you know, we're technically making a background, which is kind of like construction, if you think about it, if you approach it from a charitable point of view. Alright, now let's... Oh, God. Every time I open up the friggin' menu for the characters, it jump scares me with these generic anime high schoolers. Like, this is the... This guy here looks like... This material has not been downloaded. No, I don't want it downloaded. I'm not gonna go that deep into the bit. Not for this one. Anyway, I don't know why, but those things scare me so bad whenever I see them. Anime boy jump scare. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, so the way we're gonna pose this is we're actually gonna have this lady here. Okay, so figuring out this thing. Alright, so we're just gonna have her kind of doubled over here. Just kind of really sucking in air, really out of breath. We've all been there. I get out of breath very easily. That's something that I wish I could improve on. And there is a way to improve on it. It's called cardio, and I can very easily start doing it, but I don't want to do it, is the thing. I don't know why I hate cardio so much. It's just like the kind of exercises that I like to do are like heavy physical strain for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then just like release. So I guess like the best thing for me would then be like deadlifting. Oh god. Don't show me your feet like that. Jeez, warn a guy a little bit beforehand, would you? Anyway, I think that would probably mean that like my best exercise is like deadlifts or something. But even deadlifting involves like a lot of work, and work is maybe not the right way to describe. Oh god, what's wrong with your elbow? Work is maybe not the best way to describe what you need to do for like deadlifting. I think like it's more like what would be the word? Conditioning. I think that's more like what deadlifting is about. It's more about conditioning than the actual power behind what's going on. Because yeah, sometimes the best way to learn how to do something is by doing it a lot. But I feel like for deadlifting, that's almost the opposite of the. Why is your elbow getting so messed up, dude? Could you chill out for like maybe a minute? Okay, I guess not. But yeah, I do think that deadlifting is probably more about conditioning than it is anything like, what do you call, like, power related? I've never done deadlifting. I might be completely talking out of my butt here. But I feel like if you're doing deadlifting right, you should be doing as little deadlifting as possible. Does that make sense? It's almost like speed running. Like, the more of the game you play, the worse off you technically are. Because I do know that deadlifting is, like, one of the more dangerous exercises. Particularly when it comes to your spline. Okay. Alright, nice. Okay, so I think we have the kind of main components of this in place. So I think now we can start drawing the background. I also need to pull up the actual last page from this comic. Because I need, like, a reference for how the walls work. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste this in here. Probably around here, I think. It's going to take a second. It's a big file. Merge selected layers. It's always funny seeing what happens when I merge a layer that has like 50 different rulers in it, because it ends up looking like some kind of freakish spider web of lines. I like looking at it. I think like this web of rulers is like a creature to me. Okay, let's see here. The nth dimension. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not supposed to tell you guys this. You can actually wall hack into the nth dimension if it takes a lot of practice and like a lot of skill. You know, you're obviously not going to get to the nth dimension on your first try. You might hop into the fourth dimension. You don't want to stay in the fourth dimension for long, though. You don't want to take it from me. You don't want to stay in the fourth dimension for too long. Anyway, you can actually hop into the nth dimension from the third dimension very easily. It's just you know, you have to like. Have you guys ever seen that Watch Out for Falling Rocks Mario speedrun video? It's very similar to that process. Sky Queen, I want to offer. Hang on. Slash block. Sky Queen shoe. This person's username isn't even like Sky Queen shoe. It's Sky Queen shoe. They replaced the shoe with an E because somebody already took the name Sky Shoe. Now that's how you know you're scraping the bottom of the bot barrel. If you're kind of digging for C's instead of O's for your username instead of using a 0 like any sane person would, that's kind of how you know that you've kind of like made it to the bottom. That's rock bottom for sure. The other bots make fun of them at bot school for their treachery. I was talking about Mario, I think. God, I really like. I used to really be in love with like the Mario series. As a kid, I was like fascinated by it for some reason. I think it's because like Mario Party and like Mario Superstar Sega were like one of the first games I ever played in my life. So I think like that had some kind of profound effect on me. I do believe this. Like I do believe that playing Superstar Sega as a wee little baby rice caused me to have some kind of like infatuation with like the Mario franchise. I don't have it so much anymore. I think like I would definitely be hyped if they released another Mario RPG like Bowser's Inside Story and Superstar Sega. But I think besides that, like I'm not super interested. I've never been interested in like platformers too much, which makes it difficult to be a Mario. Which, you know, that presents some challenges if you're a Mario fan, not being into platformers. Okay, hang on. How do I? Almost got it. There we go. It's taking a minute to like get this one bit right. Hang on. I think the best thing to do is actually to rotate around a little bit so I don't have to worry about it too much. There we go. Yeah. I bet someday I'll get the hang of like flipping the canvas more dynamically. Today is not going to be that day. Oh, wait, hang on. I think I got it. Yeah, boy. Alright, so we're just going to have this long, long hallway. Almost infinite, one might surmise. Okay. So I think the best way to do this is to have the... Okay, so this person is like around here. They'd be leaning up against this door, which the middle of which would be around here. And then the door's top would be around here. And then the door's other side would be around here. There we go. No, I feel like that's almost too much. You know, I feel like that's too not far away enough. So I think then what we need to do is... what should we do, actually? Maybe what we can do is mess around with the foreshortening a little bit. Yeah, I think that might be a good way to go. Now, see, again, that feels like it's a little too big. These people feel like they're, like, ant-sized now. Okay, what happens if I want to draw a line, like, around here? What would happen then to make that... Okay, to make this hallway more reasonable, what if I wanted to draw a line, like, around here? Man, it's at this point that I really regret not knowing more about how mansions, or like exploring more haunted mansions as a child. Because if I had, I guarantee you this would not be as much of a problem as it is right now. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, again, that's like those walls are a little too tall. Everything about this is like too tall. I think I need to undo whatever I did to make the other character so low on the ground. Yeah. Okay, so I think like maybe what would be a good idea is to move her even further in. Then figure out this kind of thing here. Zoom in the camera. Why does that feel like it's putting them even farther away from each other? Okay. Because I kind of want to keep that rule of thirds, and that's not really in place so long as they're over there. So I think I need to, like, aim this a little bit better. Hopefully this won't completely bork the camera perspective. Alright, let's see how this one goes. Oh, I see why I couldn't see it before. It's, like, all over here now. Oh, neat. Hang on. Alright, I think now that probably means we have to mess around with the ruler itself a little bit. So I guess it's time to figure out how we do this thing. Okay, so the vanishing point is right here. Oh, Man, knowing more about how, like, normal vanishing points work would probably help a lot with this, huh? Okay, wait, hang on. Okay, this middle line, then, is probably what we want to work with. Okay. Yeah, no. I'm not getting how to do this. Let's put some stuff back for the moment. There we go. Then maybe the answer isn't to, like, move it in one specific direction, but to maybe move it in the other direction. If that makes sense. Then moving this a little bit to the side and a little bit up. And then moving the character themselves down a little bit. I wish... Oh, there is a way to, like, move them down together. Awesome. Okay, that's gonna be really helpful. Okay. Let's take it once... Okay, once more from the top. Okay, yeah, this is gonna work. I can feel it this time, guys. I can feel that this one's gonna work. I can't wait until I have to do this all over again for the second panel. I think maybe just for this panel I'm gonna use, like, on the proper pose referencings, because I think that's what took a not insignificant amount of time, is just figuring out the poses. But I want to make sure that I've got the proportions right on these guys. Not to humble brag or anything, but I think drawing my Sona over and over again in, like, my sketches has somehow affected my brain into only permanently making, like, chubby, short, stumpy characters. So, you know, take that as a boon or a curse as you will, but like, it's certainly not what I need to accomplish my goals, you see? Okay, so here's what I'm thinking version 2 is. Well, first of all, we need to fix up the hallway here so that it all kind of matches up. Should I just kind of like... Hang on. Oops. Alright, hang on. Here's how we do it. And then we actually have to move this one. I see. Okay. So then the next step would be to... Okay, I think I know my next couple of steps. I need to figure out, first of all, what's going to be at the end of this hallway, which I think is probably going to be like a potted plant or something that into another hallway that kind of leads into a curve over here. And then the second thing that I need to do is I need to add all the different kind of like features and doors to this place. So first one is this kind of hole over further up ahead. I say hole, it's just another kind of hallway. There's a lot of hallways in this mansion, not all of which are sanely designed. Alright, I need to figure out... Okay, so this is gonna kind of go over here. Hallways are hard, dude. Man, I don't deserve to wear this this construction helmet. I don't know shit about home construction. Construction helmet be damned, my boy cannot build. Man, I'm gonna have to end up deleting so many of these lines. This is gonna be great. Oh yeah. Fun fact. Apparently, like, I've been reading about... Okay, so if you haven't been tuning in, or maybe you have if you've been, like, wanting to throttle every dude who's been, like, using GPUs to Bitcoin mine since late 2020, there's actually a little bit of an electronics component shortage in the market these days. In fact, one of the more rare resources is actually semiconductors. And that's because only one company kind of has like a huge thing on semiconductors, which is a Taiwanese semiconductor company. So those guys are a pretty chill bunch. They're decent dudes. But the problem is that, like, because they have like such a large market share, very rarely can they actually afford to, they need to keep expanding basically. So what ended up happening, I should say, is that they actually invested in Arizona in the US, of all places, to start opening up new plants. So what that may eventually mean is that on the back of your phone, you may see like partially made in the US sometime soon, which is fun. Yeah, it always throws me off whenever people talk about like, computer chips, because sometimes they're also called wafers, and whenever somebody talks about wafers, first thing that comes to my mind personally is wafer cookie. God, I love wafer cookies. I could mess up a packet of wafer cookies right now. Okay. Yeah, this place definitely has like very poor feng shui, but you know, it's what it needs to be for the purposes of the narrative. I'm glad that I also have like this ceiling line to keep me kind of on the ball for like how much ceiling I'm actually giving this place, because You know, I thought to myself, this door doesn't look very big, but now with that ceiling line, I can see, oh no, it's actually like a fairly wide door, which is good. That's kind of what I want. I want a nice, big, fancy door. Okay. Let's see here. This will kind of go like here, and this would go like this. Okay, I think we have the basics of the room kind of planned out. What I might actually do then, and this might be a fun idea, is to just kind of like rasterize this layer, copy and paste it. You know, rasterize this one so that I can like, hang on, work it up with the colorings here. There we go. Lower the opacity on it a little bit, and then what we can do is we can add another vector layer on top. I slammed my head into the corner of my coterie dresser thing on accident. Oh my god, are you okay? Dude, you slammed your head so hard that in my OBS chat window, your name color changed. I'm not even kidding. Look at this. You hit your head so hard, you your chat name changed colors. Seriously though, are you okay? That sounded like it hurt a lot. It'd be like that. It hit the reset button inside you. God. Sometimes I do wish somebody would just like get me a paperclip and just like hit the factory reset on me. Okay, maybe not the factory reset. That's a bit strong for what I need. It's more like maybe more like that thing that you need to do sometimes with your computer when it's not like shutting down properly and you need to like hold the power button. Although I guess that would be analogous to strangling, huh? It did. I may low-key have given myself a low-grade headache. Oh. Yeah, get some ice on that, for sure. Yeah, get some ice on that if you can. So, that's awful that happened to you. I'm sorry. Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story. You? Yeah. I have been known to go to infinity and also beyond. I'm not allowed to say about what's going on beyond infinity. The Sun told me if I told anybody, it would destroy it would delete my Minecraft save file, and I have like 300 hours on that thing. I've made like a scale model of Philadelphia in it and everything. The risk is just not worth whatever reward may be in place. Which I guess would be like what, Cloud? Cloud for knowing what's at the end of the universe. Oh, you say that because of the paperclip thing in the back of my head. Okay, yeah, no, I get that now. Yeah, no. The thing is, right, that involves amnesia. Which one was it where they messed with resetting him and he ended up speaking Spanish because they bungled it? Toy Story 3. I remember that because Toy Story 3 I actually watched not only in theaters but also in Spanish. So the whole bit where like he turns into like an overbearingly Spanish dude is a little bit lost in translation. Just an aggressively Spanish guy. Okay, hang on. I need to like lower the line width on these bad boys. Narrow. Okay, scale down width. Okay, I need to also make it process the whole line. There we go. Yeah, just trim these down a little bit. Yeah. Number one rule that I found is that if you want to like give yourself an easier time with backgrounds, always remember that every single wall needs to have like a little bit of an underflooring here for like anti-mouse measures, rat countermeasures. Oh my god. Okay, so best thing that's happened to me today, right? Did you guys know that there is a job posting for the city of New York for something called the Director of Rodent Mitigation? And essentially the job is to lead the effort against like New York rats. But this job description for this job is one of the best things I have ever read in my life. Let me show it to you guys real quick. I actually had it open here. About the role. And I'm going to do this in the radio voice. Do you have what it takes to do the impossible? A virulent vehemence for vermin? A background in urban planning, project management, or government? And most importantly, the drive, the determination, and killer instinct needed to fight the real enemy, New York's relentless rat population? If so, your dream job awaits. New York's citywide director of rodent mitigation. Despite their successful public engagement strategy and cheeky social media presence, rats are not our friends. They are enemies that must be vanquished by the combined forces of our city government. Rodents spread disease, damage homes and wiring, and even attempt to control the movements of kitchen staffers in an effort to take over human jobs. Cunning, voracious, and prolific, New York City's rats are legendary for their survival skills, but they don't run this city. We do. Reporting to the Deputy Mayor for Operations, and in the Mayor's office at City Hall, the citywide Director of Rat Mitigation is a 24/7 job, requiring stamina and stagecraft. The ideal candidate is highly motivated and somewhat bloodthirsty, determined to look at all solutions from various angles, including improving operational efficiency, data collection, technology innovation, trash management, and wholesale slaughter. Successful candidates must be highly organized, able to burrow into the depths of city government to work with agencies across the board, including the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, Parks Department, NYCHA, Department of Education, Department of Sanitation, Department of Transportation, Small Business Services, and Mayor's Office of Operations, as well as private sector partners. As leader of the Rat Pack, you will work with your colleagues from across city government, traveling throughout the 5 boroughs, educating, evaluating, and eradicating in equal measure. In addition to these leadership responsibilities, the Director of Rodent Mitigation must perform the following functions. And I want to highlight here. Catch and kill. As with many government roles, you will be expected to lead from the front, using hands-on techniques to exterminate rodents with authority and efficiency. Statement of values. Rats will hate this job posting, but 8.8 million New Yorkers and your city government stand ready to work with you to reduce the rat population, increase cleanliness, and prevent pestilence. Qualifications. Demonstrated experience in policy, urban planning, project management, operations, or government. Abilities to self-manage and conduct rigorous research and outreach. Attention to detail, and the ability to complete tasks in a timely fashion with minimal supervision. Proficiency with Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Willingness to work as part of the team environment, and adapts well to change. Swashbuckling attitude, crafty humor, and a general aura of badassity. But yeah. Also, the salary range for this is $120,000 to $170,000 a year. I feel like I should bring that up. But yeah, best job posting I've read in a long time. I wish all job postings were written like that. It makes it a lot easier to sell your soul to capitalism if you at least have swashbuckling attitude as part of your job description. Alright, let's see here. Okay, that'll probably do it for that bit. So now we need to add this part right here. But yeah, general aura of badassery. How do you cultivate that, is my question. Obviously, step one is by being a badass, but nobody's a badass from, nobody's a badass out of the birth canal. You have to build up to it. It's like a tolerance, almost. Alright, hang on. Then over here. You have it's like if radiation was something you could build an immunity to. You can't actually build an immunity to radiation. I'm just giving that as an example. Please don't try to build an immunity to radiation. Getting your DNA ripped apart like a Beyblade isn't particularly fun or productive. For any really long-term goal, I would say, like, for for most goals, but like really for any goal, getting your DNA fucking unzipped like a crazy straw. I don't know, it sounds kind of fun. Well, I mean, you do you. At the end of the day, I can't really stop you, but I can just say that, like, you know, as somebody who, like, hangs out with the sun and has first-hand experience with the, you know, effects of radiation directly upon you, the sun has a lot of authority, you see. Like, being the sun comes with a lot of perks and, you know, different kind of authorities. So one of those is being, like, massively radioactive, like, literally all the time. I feel like I really can't emphasize just how friggin' radioactive the sun is. Thankfully, I don't really have DNA, so I'm kind of fine on that front. You know, I'm fine. You guys might not be. So, you know, do as thou wilt, but do watch out. The rule of fuck around and find out is fully in effect. Okay. And then we also had like a carpet on this thing. If I can just get this right. But yeah, the New York City, the New York, I don't even remember what the name of the job is. I'm never gonna find that friggin' job posting ever again. I don't know, I don't remember how I found it in the first place. I think I was just like looking at a newsletter and then I found it there. But yeah, something that's that's a very motivational job posting. And like I said, the salary is like surprising for what it is. Like, I would not have, you know, it figures that like somebody who has to kind of like lead that to that extent in like a local government decision would probably, you know, need to have that kind of salary to kind of like manage everything. Like, New York is I imagine like one of the most difficult places to manage in the world. So it would make sense that they get paid the big bucks for city management. It does have like an air of prestige to it, though, doesn't it? Like, you're the guy that's fighting literally every rat in New York City. That by default kind of makes you a little bit of a badass. You know, those rats aren't known for sharing too well. All right. And then I think what we'll also need, probably, is some lights down the middle here. Now, the difficult thing for me about lighting in these kinds of... I'm not good at making lamps. I've never really thought about lamps and lighting. Like, obviously, you need them. You need that kind of, like, lamp. You need a place from which light can arrive. But I'm just not a very creative lamp guy. You know, if I'd had my druthers, I'd just, like, make this line just, like, a bright white line, and then just say that that's a light, but that doesn't read very well. Okay, then over here. God, I was reading also, like, in this newsletter, I was reading some tech news about the friggin' one of those self-driving cars, Apple's self-driving car to be precise. Mention hallway light. I'm googling this. I don't care. Which one of these would be good? I'm trying to figure out like which one has like a classy feel to it. Ooh, this one might be fun. Check that. Peep that. Alright, we'll do that. Yeah, anyway, I was reading about one of those, like, self-driving cars. So, first of all, not going to be in the market till 2026. Thank God. That's the thing about self-driving cars. And I hate to be, like, one of those, like, Luddite-sounding assholes, but I do sincerely believe that they should never be made. Self-driving cars are simply a thing that should not be made. First of all, because like it's just like important for people to be able to learn the skill of driving. I feel like if we lose the ability to learn how to drive, it's going to be very difficult to get along. And this is coming from somebody who has no plans to like get a proper driver's license. right? Like, I don't want to get a driver's license, but I still feel like we should be incentivized to learn how to drive. If only so we can do cool car stunts in movies. But another reason that I feel like... Anyway, that's my feelings about driving, but like, that aside, it's also really funny that like one of the ways that they kind of opened this headline might not be the right word. How do you like... One of the things they reported on this subject was that apparently it will have a steering wheel. Like that's something it is gonna have, and I thought that was like a really funny detail to include. Like, obviously, yes, you have a self-driving car. You don't want to have it have a steering wheel, because then that shows that you're not confident in it. But at the same time, it's really funny that like now it's making news that a car does have a steering wheel rather than that it doesn't. Also, I know this looks extremely complicated. I promise that this is for a reason. Actually, come to think of it, I should probably like get rid of these like top bits here. Wait, did I just erase something important? Nah, that's probably fine. Okay, yeah, no, I didn't erase anything important just yet, thankfully. But yeah, that cracked me up. Guys, get this, the self-driving car is gonna have a steering wheel! I'm like, friggin', yeah, I hope it does. God. I do wonder what it would be like to be friends with like one of those like crypto fiends. Not because I'm actually interested in any of it, but rather because I want to like... I've never heard of anybody shilling for crypto that wasn't doing so ironically or as a bit. So it's freaking incredible. It's got to be kind of frankly incredible to know what that's like from like a close-up perspective. It's going to be awful, sure, but it seems like I feel like it's almost like... It would almost be like one of those experiences that like change you, but like instead of, you know, for the better, it would change you as in you just want to punch more crypto guys. Which, I mean, depending on your previous standpoint, might be a kind of change, I don't know. Okay. There we go. This also helps justify why the hallways are so tall, because they have like these hanging light fixtures. This might be a little too big, actually, come to think of it. Well, I'll figure it out or I won't. Then, okay, then the next part here would be actually making these guys. So what we can do for now is just turn off the ruler, because I think we're going to do this more or less freehand. Oh yeah, here's another fun thing that I found out. Apparently some bakeries in Utah are kind of having a little bit of a copyright. So basically they're in this kind of like region of Utah. I say this region of Utah. That doesn't mean I live in Utah. I famously don't live in the U.S. But in this one specific region of Utah, there's like 3 different big cookie companies. There's the one called like Crumble. That's Crumble without an E. That's one of the bigger ones. And then there's 2 other ones, which are Dirty Dough and Crave Cookies. And this is like some heated drama that's actually happening between the 3 of them. So get this, right? There was an employee who used to work for Crumble that went over to Dirty Dough, and now Dirty Dough started selling some cookies that seemed to be copying the recipe from Crumble. So you know that happens. You know you get an employee poached. You gotta live with that part of corporate espionage. But get this, that ex-employee also happened to be like the brother of the founder of Dirty Dough. So now the plot thickens, and now a Crumble might have an actual court case. And the friggin' dramatic plots, and I cannot wait for this trial to kind of like go in, you know, kind of like unfold, because it sounds like just the thing that I need. Like, I feel like I want to know about the cookie copyright drama going on. I don't make cookies as often as I used to. I used to make cookies all the time. What I used to do is that I found a recipe that was like really good for freezing. So what I used to do is I would just make a bunch of dough and then just freeze the rest of it, and then, you know, little by little I would end up not eating the dough, but cooking it and baking it. So it ended up being a pretty nice cycle for me. Okay. And then another curve right here. Okay, and this kind of extends upward like this. Almost like a violet, really. Actually, we need to extend this upwards, too. There we go. I don't know, do these read as lamps? I feel like they might not read as lamps too easily. I mean, if they don't, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. But I'll add a little light bulb there. Oh yeah, that reminds me. There is like a light bulb tourist attraction that's like been going on since like the 1950s, right? Yeah, the Centennial light or something. I wonder if that thing's still going. I feel like it's kind of like the that gas pit over in Turkmenistan. That's Hell's Mouth, right? I was obsessed with that thing when I was like 16 or 17. By the way, I was obsessed with like the Hell's Mouth in Turkmenistan. I don't know why. Well, I mean, the why is probably because it's cool as hell that like there's a gas pit that's still burning since it got lit in like the 50s. But I mean, like, I also learned about, like, friggin' Centralia, Pennsylvania. Or, wait, no, where is Centralia again? I forgot where Centralia is. Hang on, let me check that out. Where is Centralia? Oh, no, it is in Pennsylvania. Okay. I was right the first time. I should never doubt myself. Never doubt your instincts. Yeah, I don't know why the Hell's Mouth captivated me so much. I think it's because you can actually see the fire. I think that's the main difference between Centralia and Hell's Mouth, is that you can feel the fire for sure in Centralia, but like you can't like see it, right? You see the streets melting and like all the fucked up like infrastructure, but you can't actually like see the fire itself. I think that's why the Hell's Mouth is just so much more captivating in terms of like a natural formation of burning stuff. Yeah, that is a technical term, by the way. Natural formation of burning stuff. Okay, yeah, that feels right. Okay, while we have the ruler turned off, I need to do a little bit of embellishment to these ceiling thingies. Ceiling thingies. What would these even be called? Like ceiling columns? Ceiling things? I gotta get my home architecture knowledge up to scratch. I also got to thin up a lot of these lines. I want to make the lines nice and thin back here so that they don't distract too much from the action kind of going on in the front. Beams? They might be beams. I think, in the same voice as they might be giants. They might be beams. I don't know. I'm no roof doctor, but I think beams sounds like a pretty good one. You know, pretty good description of it. Okay. Then over here, I think the next best thing to do is to turn the ruler back on for just a minute. If you what? If you CK me? God, that joke is old now. I mean, no, it's not really old. It's just not in style. If you're talking about the stuff lining the ceiling and the floor, then it would be like trim. Trim sounds like it would work. Yeah, trim sounds like it would work as a, what do you call it? As terminology for whatever this thing is. Yeah. I don't know. Do kids these days know about if you CK me? Like, I feel like with the advent of like Bofa and Ligma and all these like sick burns that like are going around in the modern age, children just aren't exposed to classics anymore. You know, like if a kid rolled up to me if like some mean looking middle schooler kind of like rolled up to me and was like, "Hey bro, it smells like Updog in here," you know, I'd be like, oh, "Okay, yes, Updog, whatever." But if the same kid, "Oh hey, Butch Corgi, thank you for follow rating, Corgi, how you doing?" We're just doing a little bit of comic making here. Hang on. So, Butch Corgi. Yeah, how was the streaming? I know you've been getting back into it, right? I think like the other day you were streaming Lobotomy Corp. You were playing Genshin Impact. Oh, that's fun. I think. I don't know. Have you been enjoying Genshin? I know some people really enjoy it. Molding/molding is a more specific term for certain kinds of trim. Huh. Molding/molding. Yeah, I guess it would be molding with a U in Canada or whatever. Huh. Molding. Yeah, I feel like trim or molding would be appropriate for whatever this stuff is on the ceiling. Okay. Yeah. But yes, Corgi, feel free to stick around for the stream or cool your heels. You know, eat something, take a break, enjoy your time. But thank you all for stopping by. Okay, no, that's not quite right. I need one on a slightly lower rung. I think, yeah, okay, that's gonna work. That's stuff. That's the ticket. I'm taking a break. Yes, lying down. Oh yeah, nice hard hat. Thank you. Yeah, no, I get that though. Sometimes you do need to. I don't know if you're lying down on the floor, but sometimes I just need like half an hour or like 40 minutes to just get real intimate with my floor again. Like, you know, just lie down on it for a few hours. Well, no, hours is too much. Like I said, 40 minutes or so is usually like the amount of floor time that I need to like get back into the swing of things. But I do need some floor time. Not on floor, but on my bed. Floor lying sounds pretty good though. If you have like hardwood floors, I recommend it. Carpet floor time is not something that I was a huge fan of. It just feels too gross. But if you have like a nice hardwood floor that you know, sweep pretty regularly, like I do, I would highly recommend some floor time. For sure. Yeah. No, I don't know. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. Sometimes I want to lie on the floor even at work. Like I just want to take a quick minute to like get down and lie on the floor at work, and it breaks my heart that I can't. The closest that I got is like this meeting room that near where my desk is, that has like this kind of one of those like really I don't even know how to describe this friggin' thing. It's like, I think a visual aid might be best. So it's like, it looks like it belongs in like a children's playground. So it has like stairs right here, and an actual like couch section behind the stairs. So I'm gonna like do a little bit of a cross section here. So it kind of looks like that. So what ends up happening though, you know, because I'm lying down on it in my human form, I end up kind of like just half sprawled on it. Like, my legs kind of like dangle off to the side like this, so I kind of end up in the Family Guy dead pose when I'm relaxing on that thing. It gets job done, particularly if like nobody else is in the office, but I don't like it's not a party trick I like to trot out very often for what I should hope are obvious reasons. Mainly that if somebody catches me in there just lying down, well, I worry about what they might think. Yeah, the culture at my office is like pretty nice. That's something that I'll never stop like giving it credit for. Is that the culture at my workplace is just phenomenal. But I think like even like there is like an upper limit. Like once you see your rice bag coworker just taking a nice little Family Guy lie down on the couch in one of the meeting rooms, I think that's gonna be like you're not gonna have the same relationship after that, I think. Alright, and then, okay, so right here I'm gonna add a wall divider. Okay, which part of this is floor again? Okay, right here I think is floor. Okay, so we'll add... The problem with adding all of these friggin' lines is that even though it looks cool, you know, once it's finished, actually remembering where each line goes and what each one represents is kind of a pain. Yeah. And again, I can't really blame them for for that because, like, you know, fair is fair, but like, it is a concern. It is a security risk for me. God. Okay, so let's just. What was I doing with these again? No, hang on. Okay, right. Wait, no. Am I missing a part? I think I might be missing a part here. Oh, well, I'll figure it out or I won't. Off you pop. Whenever I think of like a weird rich person's house, I always think of that one... I think it was on Zillow listing for it or something. I remember there was like a famous rapper's house for sale on Zillow for some reason, and it had like it had like a portrait of the Family Guy dog in there for some reason, and it just looked awful. it looked well and truly awful, and like that's my vision of like what a rich person's house should be like. Like it doesn't look bad, it's just kind of incongruent because like you need so many different things for so many different sections, and you can't have just like one theme. That's for peasants. Having a single theme in your house is for peasants. This is known. You know, people talk about their minimalism, their brutalism, their cottagecore, but you know, the real know that you really only you need to have more than one going on at a time to achieve full maximum house potential. Okay. If you want your house to be all that it can be, you need to have 5 or 6 different things going on at the same time. Yeah. That's why MC Escher, you know, for all his mind-bending designs, you never saw MC Escher being contracted as an architect. That's because all the rich people hid his architectural work behind the curtains. You know, they thought they jealously guard it and think it's too good for the rest of the world's eyes to see. Yeah. Eventually they'll end up on an episode of MTV Cribs, but, you know, that's going to be in like 20 to 40 years. The world isn't ready for it yet. Yeah, one downside of having MC Escher design your house is that, like, gazing upon it at the wrong angle can drive men to madness. You know, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. You have to have, like, the right mental fortitude training and everything. That's why he wasn't, like, you know, even at his zenith as an architect, MC Escher wasn't a particularly popular choice because, you know, all the non-Euclidean geometry and what have you. Yeah. Try getting home insurance on that. I dare you. You know, it's just not happening. The rates for it are insane. It's like if you owned like 6 different clowns that spontaneously burst into flame. That's the kind of insurance rates you're looking at for the average MC Escher crib. I love that I can just like make up a scenario in my head to get weird about. That's the power of short storytelling. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna need to thin the hell out of these lines here. There we go. Turn off the ruler for just a little bit so I can add some knobs. I would turn down my brush size too, but like it's very difficult to get like a consistent brush size. Like I forget what brush size I was using like all the time. No, those look weird. Hang on. Maybe like handles like this? Ooh, those look nice. Okay. We also need to get the door a little bit fancier. So I think what I'm thinking is maybe just like some more squares in here. Okay, I know this is not working. I'm gonna switch to the Milli pen. There we go. Then like this, like this, like this, like this. Yeah, I probably should have done this from like the very beginning, just switching to the Milli pen, because I feel like it's just a better decision. But unfortunately, I'm the kind of person who doesn't learn unless they do it the hard way at least once. Rather, I'm weirdly obsessed with doing things the hard way sometimes. You know, it's not even that I don't know that there's a better way to do it. It's just that I want to try and do it the difficult way. I don't know why, but it feels more wholesome to me. Like, I feel like I really learned it and earned whatever I'm getting out of the deal. I don't know. It's just more satisfying to me. Granted, it's not like I do it for everything, and even once I have done it, I'm just usually not interested in brute forcing it again. But, you know, doing it once brute force is always a little bit of a treat for myself, a little bit of enrichment for me. I don't know if that's like a common thing. I don't know if a lot of people feel that same way, but that's just kind of how I approach things. Yeah. I like learning about it the, you know, easier way too. That's also another nice kind of treat for me. It's just like learning that there is an easier way. Okay. I need to add more stuff to the scenery. How about a painting? It's kind of hard to not accidentally like cross over with this straight line or with the comic panel. Damn it. Come on, bud. I believe in you. Oh, wait, I know what I can do. Hang on, let me disable this. Show ruler B. There we go. This should make it a lot easier. Yeah, you can actually see these comic frames actually have like rulers built into them. So what ends up happening is that like you end up creating a bunch of like comic lines like this, which isn't really a problem unless you shrink the frame, in which case it becomes a rather large problem. But we don't need to worry about that anymore. We've turned off the comic frame guidelines, so it should be fine. Okay. So then I think what we can do actually is turn this into a mirror of sorts. I think that would be a cool idea, to just have like a mirror here in the hallway. Although I have put this last line here a little bit too far up. There we go, perfect. Oop, missed a spot. There we go, okay. Now we're done. Okay, now we've got this part ready. I'm also gonna add like a thick black line right here because I think that's how. Yeah, I remember that I saw that trick one time, that you can actually tell if a mirror is a two-way mirror if you put your finger on it, right? So if you put your finger on it and there is a gap between the finger on the mirror and your finger, that's a real mirror. But if there is a 0 gap between your finger and the one in the mirror, then that's a two-way mirror. Yeah, fun fact right there for you. Yeah, you can tell if you're in a room with a double mirror if you do that. God, I remember that I was super paranoid for like a week after I learned that fact. Though, like I was like spy checking every single mirror in my house. You know, a couple of them got smudges on them, but I did it for the safety of my home. God damn it! No one could judge me for that. All right, and up these guys a little bit more. Okay. So I think we've gotten most of the hallway out of the way. So I think now what we can do is we can turn off the ruler for the whole thing, and in a separate layer, we can start making the... I do wonder if maybe I should like turn off some of these references. There we go, that's a little bit easier to see. I'm gonna put this at like 25%, and then just add a new vector layer. I'm gonna call this background. Okay. Maybe I can actually put the other one a little bit closer. Hang on. Does that make her look too small? I think that makes her look a little too small. Now that makes her look too big. I do wonder, like, if I put her, like, in front of... Oh, that's really big. Okay. How can I improve that a little bit? I feel like I could probably mess around with the ruler again for that. Like, if I, hold this one down. Maybe this one... No, hang on. There's gotta be like a happy medium to this, right? Oh, wait. I can make both of them huge. That works. Hang on. I'll just make her a little bit taller. And then maybe just, I don't know, can I just like slide her forward like that? I gotta mess around with the perspective a little bit here. How tall is she now, by the way, I wonder? 253 centimeters large. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely on the larger side, so I do think, like... Okay, so then maybe just a little bit smaller. There we go. Wait, I can just make the background bigger. Today, I am a genius. Okay, so then we move this here. Because really, the reason that I focused on the background so much was because I needed the lines to be consistent. But since that's no longer really a concern, well, indeed. Okay, we definitely want more of the hallway kind of to the left here so that we have that nice kind of rule of thirds going on there. We can also shrink this lady back down. What? Oh, okay, I see. That's used to control where the character is looking. Okay. I was gonna be like, what the hell do I have over here that's creating this blue dot? Alright. I just spooked myself as well. No worries. Okay, shrink that down a little bit. Then... How are we for time? We've got like I'd say we have like a good half an hour left. And a half an hour, 20 minutes or so. I think we got enough time to finish at least the line work for this first panel. I'm confident in that. I need to stop turning the ruler back on for this layer here. I can also take away some of these references, thankfully. Perfect. I also realize now that I haven't drunk a single drop of water since I started the stream, so I should probably get on that. Yeah, you haven't already, take a little sip of water for yourselves. Also, I'm noticing now that the neck on this one model here is a little bit wonky. There we go, and then... Okay, perfect. Alright, so start drawing the gun here. The gun's gonna be covering up a lot of the body, so I kind of want to draw that first. Man, making this gun in Blender was so wonky. I made this gun in Blender myself, and actually making it was really weird because like it has a lot of weird curves and angles that my understanding of Blender definitely wasn't sophisticated enough to really render. So it has a lot of stuff going on in the background. You can actually vaguely see it here and there. I think particularly when it comes to the handle, if you ever get a good look at that, you will be able to see that the gun model is actually a little bit weird. But thankfully I can just kind of like draw over that, so that's not really an issue. Yeah. The fun thing about art is that at the end it's kind of the presentation what matters. If you don't tell anybody that like, oh yeah, this thing is like super wonky here, it's super wonky there, unless they have a very keen eye, they won't really notice. And to be honest, even if they do notice, they probably won't care. Unless they're real haters or whatever, they will probably just look at the work that you did do well and be like, hey, that's pretty good work. Yeah, that's a fun thing about art for me. Also, another fun trick that I learned is that once you make one straight line, you've basically made the whole gun, because you can just like repurpose that straight line for literally everything. God damn! Whew, that was a strong one. Man, it's a little concerning to me personally that my sneezes already sound like dad sneezes when I'm in my 20s. And I dread to think of what'll happen once I actually reach like fatherhood age. I'm going to have the strongest sneezes this side of the Pacific Ocean. I'm gonna sneeze and it'll blow the roof off a building. I'm gonna sneeze and those like weird seismographs they have going on in like the government buildings will just kind of like shake violently for a good 3 or 5 seconds. They'll be like, "Dear God, that's like a 445 on a Richter." They'll think like they'll think it's a tectonic plate for a little while, but no, it's just me. Yeah. Shout out to people in the house with loud sneezes. Alright, then... Okay, then this part here is actually going to go in like this. Duplicate that up here. Another fun thing about this gun is that it actually has like more curved edges to it, but like it's a little bit difficult to communicate with the 3D model. And again, this is for sure like a skill issue. I'm certain that somebody with more experience, time, and dedication could make like a super nice, super rendered, like ready to be put into Unity version of this gun. But for what I need, for my purposes, this thing works just perfectly, actually. That's another thing. Like, besides the fact that, if nobody will notice that, you know, your art's going to have some wonkiness to it unless you tell them. Another fun thing about art is that you only need to know until, how do I put this, like, you need to know only the things that will be relevant to you. You know, for a lot of other hobbies and fields, not knowing what you're doing could get you killed, right? Like, you know, skydiving might be an obvious choice, but you know, also carpentry, if you don't know how to handle tools properly, that is going to, like, you can get seriously hurt with that. On the other hand, for, like, art and everything, it's surprisingly more relaxed. I mean, granted, there are a lot of hobbies that won't get you killed if you don't know what you're doing. You know, reading, for example, is a great example, I believe. Yeah. Did you hear about the guy who died while reading? It seems I actually don't know a good pun for that, and I probably shouldn't make a pun for that. I feel like that's a little too dark. Pun about a guy dying while reading. Yeah, no, that one's a real makes you kind of think kind of query. All right, let's see. Oh, did you hear about the guy that died reading? He had a lot of last words. That one could use some more time in the oven. There's something there, but I'm not going to explore that right now. There's definitely something there, but, you know, time, place, and occasion, right? I need to remember what this gun looks like normally. Hang on. Can I add this to a separate part? Okay, now I remember. Okay, now I remember. I remember now everything. Okay. So I think first step is to definitely kind of emphasize the kind of like chin on this thing. Yeah, it wouldn't make any, like, you know, the thing is, right, with the 3D models, you need to learn how to use them as guidelines as much as, you know, as much as it is useful to use them as absolute rules, they are, at the end of the day, guidelines as well. They are just there to kind of facilitate your life, and you can disobey them if it becomes better for you in that way, right? Yeah, that's the thing about guidelines is that, you know, they're there for you they're there to help you, and when they no longer help you, they are no longer needed. Well, no, it's not that they're no longer needed, it's that you no longer need to listen to them. Once they've done their job, they've done their job. After that, it's all kind of in your hands, and I think that's true for art specifically. I remember when I was, like, a teenager, I got weirdly into, of all things, right, manga about bartending. And there is actually an entire manga called Bartender. It's about a dude who's a bartender and is really good at it. And it's a fun read, especially if you don't know much about alcohol like I do. They have a lot of fun facts about it. But yeah, I remember Bartender particularly... Oh, that looks weird. Oh, I know how to fix that, though. Just get rid of this and replace it with this bad boy. But yeah. Anyway, I remember that manga not because I was, like, particularly, like, moved by, you know, the kind of, like, stuff that was shown within it, but I remember being moved by one chapter in particular, where a dude was basically coaching a less experienced bartender who was basically like the definition of a technician, right? Like, he had a lot of technical skills as a bartender, but the problem was that he didn't have the kind of experience and a personal touch that would have made him really stand out. That was like the kind of crux of the chapter, is that the guy that they were serving, they tried two of the same cocktail. Like, the guy they were serving had two of the same cocktail, one made by the protagonist and one made by the guy he was coaching. And naturally in the end, the customer kind of preferred the one that the protagonist had made. First of all, because he's a protagonist, but also because, like, the way he put it is that it had like a personal touch that the other one sort of lacked in a way. And I think that's a very important part to understand. You know, when you start out drawing, you usually start out because you love it. You want to create something. You want to put something out into the world that is outside of you, that is, you know, something that is apart from you. And you want to have that out in the world in some way or form. And as you kind of start doing that more and more, you begin to realize, like, hey, I could get a lot better at this, right? There's a lot of stuff that I still don't know. It made me happy creating it, but I still need like the power of technical skill to get me through. You know, I need that power of technical skill to improve myself, because that's what I need right now. So that's the kind of second phase of it, is after you have learned the basics of like how you want to be, you learn the fundamentals. So you learn the fundamentals, you learn the traditions, and you know, you do the whole thing. You go get some Andrew Lubin's books. You do the whole song and dance. And then, you know, once you've learned those technical skills, you realize, you know, it has technical skill, but it feels like it's lacking something. It feels like it's lacking my own style. And that's, you know, people ask me, like, how do you find your art style? Well, they don't ask me, they ask artists. I've never been asked that question personally. Yeah, if you want to know how to get my art style, read Scott Pilgrim when you're like way too young for it, and also read Homestuck, and you'll get there eventually. But that sounds really bad, but like I promise, I had a lot of fun as a kid. But yeah, there is that desire, right, to, once you have mastered the fundamentals and understood the traditions, you need to depart from the traditions, right? You need to find your own method for it. And I think that's that's when creating really starts to become fun, when you have enough experience with the fundamentals and the basic skills to be like, yeah, I know these, I can use them however I want. And then you kind of move on to that next stage, which is, you know, departing from the traditions. And that's kind of like the final stage of that mastery, is departing from the traditions, because now you have your own style, your own method. But yeah, that's what really stuck with me about the Bartender manga, is that one specific chapter and that discussion of how you progress through skills. Yeah, as a dude who always learns stuff because he wants to, I'm the kind of person who learns stuff because he wants to do one specific thing with it. Like, I learned Blender because I wanted to make myself a 3D model. I accomplished that, and now I've stopped using Blender so much. Granted, I still know how to use it, and I'll still be doing Blender streams every now and again. But, you know, it's not going to be like a focused effort like it was back in October. Okay. Then back here, I just need to make sure that it's parallel with this gun line. Also, yeah, that was a really long-winded tangent. That one got away from me a little bit. I hope you enjoy that little rant of mine. Let's see. Oh, speaking of stuff that makes you happy. What tablet pen do I use? Let me flip mine over so I can tell you the exact model. I know I have a Huion tablet. I have a Huion 1060 Plus tablet. I've had it since approximately 2020, and yeah, 2020, 2019, I think, is when I got myself this tablet. I remember specifically that I got it during either the very early stages of the pandemic or the middle of the pandemic. Because I remember, like, a big problem of mine was that my old tablet was, like, getting a little bit too dinged up. Probably, like, 2019, I'm gonna say. Yeah, end of 2019 is probably when I got this tablet. No, it was definitely, like, middle 2020, because I remember getting it when I moved into the dorm room that I was in for the majority of lockdown. So, yeah, it was definitely, like, mid-2020. But, yeah, that is a Huion 1060 Plus. I remember it being a problem for a little while, actually, this pen tablet of mine, because it ended up, it's a nice large tablet, But what that also means is that it takes up a lot more space than I was expecting it to. Oh dear, hang on. Oh, I see now the issue. Okay. There we go. Now at least it's aligned with the... I'm gonna miss having that like kind of huge overbite on this, but... Actually, no, hang on. I think I can make this work. If I move this a little bit to the left. How big is it? Okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a guesstimate. Okay, 1, 2... Okay, so it's about... Okay, so fun fact about me. The way that I eyeball things is by using my hand. So I actually measured the width of... So I measured the width of my hand. Like if I splay my fingers out like this, I know that the width from my pinky to my thumb is around 20 centimeters. I don't know how much that is in inches. This tablet is approximately 40 centimeters diagonal. 40 centimeters diagonal. 40, okay, 15 is around 5 inches. 15, 30, 5, 12. It's about a foot in diameter. Or not diameter, I guess diagonally. Yeah, it's about a foot diagonal. It's one Subway sandwich diagonal. In terms of, like, space. I think that's the best estimate I can give you, with, like, off the top of my head. But yeah, it's like a chunky lad. At least relative to me. I imagine there are people who have worked with like even bigger ones, and you know, they'll be like, but how can you work with something that tiny? And I get it. That's kind of how I feel about my old tablet now. It's like, dang, I used to work on something this small? Like, you definitely get used to the bigger size. And I do think like I now have enough desk real estate to like justify it. Pretty good estimate, to be fair. I am surprised constantly like how accurate it is. Like, as long as it sticks to like 20 centimeters, it's gonna be fairly accurate. But like once we get into inches, then I am flirting with dangerous territory. I do not understand the inches. Imperial units can honestly just go suck a lemon. I don't get why you Americans are so attached to them. Like, I don't even understand like the sentimental value behind them. You guys didn't make those units. The friggin' British did. Same deal with the Fahrenheit. But you know, that's like more personal beef. Those are like personal vendettas that I have. Yeah. I have such a hard time being a hater that I can really only muster the wrath to have beef with units of measurement. Supposed free thinkers when inches. That being said, all things the same. The phrase "the writing down interesting is inch resting" lives rent free in my head. I will cop to that. Like I am guilty of constantly thinking of like interesting when I mean to say interesting. Okay, then have this like this. There we go. So true. You get it. Yeah, you get me, Cat. Jupiter. So then I need to add the snout right here. Okay, then put this diagonal and across like that. And I love using the 3D models. I'm not gonna lie. Back when we had the scare with the AI art and Clip Studio Paint, I was actually panicking a little bit because if I needed to jump shit from my art program, which I absolutely would have, I struggle to remember like what art programs also have like this kind of 3D integration, and the problem is that none of them do. Like even Photoshop doesn't have 3D integration. I would have to use a separate program to figure out the poses and models and everything. It wouldn't be nearly as dynamic as it is with Clip Studio. They kind of got me by the reins, unfortunately. In terms of my workflow, it's like almost entirely centralized around CSP features, so I'm glad they backed out of it at the end. Okay. What I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna increase that a little bit, have a little bit more dome real estate for her. I'm just gonna kind of copy that. Now that's too much. See, that's too much. Head real estate. I don't want her head to end up looking like an egg. Yeah, that's something that a buddy of mine pointed out, that if you pay close attention, for a lot of models with like high mobility for Live 2D, they end up essentially having like egg-shaped heads, which is interesting. You know, sometimes it's hidden very well, but like I do see it sometimes when I see like a high-end model just like turning their head a little bit in the wrong direction, and I see that like they have like an egg-shaped head, because, you know, naturally that's a very easy shape to work with when you're like when you basically have like full side profile view of their face. But yeah, that's something that I want to learn more. That's another reason why I want to learn more about Live 2D rigging. I kind of want to do that thing that I used to do a long time ago, where I would just like make a model and then rig it in 2 or 3 streams. Because I feel like if I get more practice with that, particularly with mouth rigging, I will become invincible. I mean, same thing that happened. I basically want to do the same kind of like boot camp training that I did for Blender, but for Live 2D again. I'm much better at Live 2D than I am at Blender, but like I feel like I have only like begun to understand how powerful I can become. I've been given a taste, and now I crave more. Okay. And then just add the kind of flat part of the helmet like that. There we go. Okay. So then I think the next part would probably be like the, what do you call the actual like, I hate the word blouson, but that's kind of like what this thing is. It's like a type of jacket, basically. I forgot the word for jacket, but I remember the word blouson, and that makes me hate myself a little bit. Earlier, right, I was talking with a buddy of mine, a workplace colleague, and he mentioned to me that he wants to become like a polyglot, right? He wants to become a dude who knows many different types of languages. And it was like, and he was trying to learn Spanish first, so he actually wanted to like get all buddy with me so that I would help him learn Spanish, basically. I gave it to him straight. My Spanish is not that great as it is. Like, obviously I'm conversational in Spanish. I still talk to my family in Spanish from time to time. But I could not help him like get like in depth to Spanish. I would probably suck at teaching Spanish. And you know, he got to share that kind of ambition with me, right? He wants to learn a lot of different languages. He wants to know a lot of different languages, and he was like, I want to learn Spanish. I don't want to learn French though. French is useless to me. And keep in mind that he works with a lot of like French Canadian people. And he said that French was useless, and at that moment I was like, okay, maybe I teach you Spanish now. You're cool, I'll teach you Spanish, maybe. That reminds me that I should drink more water right now. Okay, I think we finished the collar, and I think we call it a night. It's getting a little late for me. Okay, yeah. Thicker neck, a much thicker neck. Yeah, I have a tendency to make all my characters look like they could take a brick to the face. That's, you know, that's true even before, you know, drawing my Sona over and over just made me morph them all into like little dwarf people. And honestly, it's not something about my art style that I dislike. Like, I actually do enjoy making people look very blunt force resistant. I feel like, you know, if I want to draw like a very like agile or fragile person, it might be a problem, but I feel like as it is, I actually am happy that that's kind of like my art style is just drawing very tough looking people. Would this be a good place to put it? I think so. I think that would be a good place. Okay, and then go like that. There we go. God, really high popped collar is such a timeless look, honestly. Just having a high collar just does so much for a look. That's something that I've noticed is that for a lot of VTubers, right, you know, it's kind of boring to just have... and this is just like me looking at like VTuber designs. I wanted to like learn... I studied VTuber design for a little bit, and I've noticed that like... the human frame, because the way that a VTuber layout is designed, you know, you have like the person in the bottom left or bottom right of the screen. You have the action or whatever game they're playing or whatever's going on over here. You have the chat box somewhere, maybe down here or up here. But because of that, because you want to kind of like obey that rule of thirds, you can either do what I do and make yourself really short and have the chat box up top, or you want to fill out more of the space. And what I've noticed is that a lot of people do that by either like doing like tall collars or doing like pigtails or like having like a hat or something or like a hood like that. I've noticed that that's how some people get around that. And I was like actually thinking like, okay, what happens if somebody wants a tank top? Right? Like what if somebody just has like a tank top on their design? And you know, you can still like do like a wild mane of hair for that. I imagine that if you were so inclined, you could also like make like Frankenstein like pylons on top of there. But yeah, it's things like that you start to notice after a little while. But it's cool. I think that that's actually really cool because me taking the jacket off, yeah, that's true. I forgot that your 3D mode can take off the jacket. I keep forgetting people's jackets are removable sometimes. Okay, let's see here. Okay, then over here. There we go. But yeah, definitely tank top, it would be like a difficult design choice to approach, I feel. I guess you could probably counteract it by having also, you know, there's other things you can do as well, like have like little like sparkles floating around. Earrings is another way. What else is there to counter that? Hair, again. You know, unless they have like very close cropped hair or like hair that just isn't long enough, you could just like make their hair go over their head like that. Just put a little guy there. That's another trick. Actually, that is true. Like I know one of the Niji Sanji girls, like Selen Tatsuki, had like a little dragon perched on her shoulder, or like some kind of axolotl or something like that. And that's also another viable way of kind of getting around that problem. You need visual noise. Is something that I've learned. Like you need some kind of visual noise. I say, being a guy in like a normal plain green hoodie and the most basic bitch outfit imaginable. I like to make fun of myself for just how simplistic my VTuber design is. Like, in a world of like maximalist moe blob designs, I stand out by virtue of just being a normal dude. That's the way I like to look at it. That's a charitable way of looking at it. You know, not that this moe blob designs, like honestly, I do think like they are the backbone of VTuber society. Much respect to those folks. Yeah, it's just not my bag in particular, you know. I'm a little bit like a brick falling through the air in terms of like general outlook. Is that thumb right? I feel like that thumb is definitely not on. Oh God, what the hell? Oh, there we go. Thumb go there? Yes, it would. Okay. Wait, hang on. I think I have the hand a little too far. I need to actually move the hand a little bit here. Oh, yeah, now we're getting it. Now we're getting the picture. Okay. I think I might actually call it a night there. We've started some great work on this. You know, the remainder of these I can just zoom in I can zoom in the this part right here and add some more detail to it. And hang on, let me pull up the overall schema for this page. Yeah, this one here is just going to be a zoom up of the same background here. This one is probably going to be like fairly easy to do if I remember the door design, and then this one's probably just going to be a black background. All right. Okay, so then I think that's going to cover it for today. Let me go back to the just chatting screen. All right, thank you all for stopping by. I think the next stream I'm going to have is going to be on Saturday. I will be building a model kit. And if I just reach over behind my desk here, yeah, it's going to be the Alto Ground type 30-minute mission kit, which I've actually been looking forward to building. I know I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about the 30-minute mission kits, so I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Yeah, let me go look at somebody to let you guys loose on. And while I do that, I can actually share one little last anecdote before I sign out. What was I doing? Shit, I completely lost my train of thought. I had like three things going on I had like three things going on the brain. Oh my god. Okay, nope, it's gone. That thought train is gone. It's long gone. But yeah, on Saturday I'll be building a model kit. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. We made it through Wednesday, lads. Just keep going. 2 more days till the weekend. And I will see you all later. Bye.